Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge and we're live for Aston Villa against Chelsea in the FA Cup. How are we all doing? Hope you're all doing well. Looking forward to this game tonight because the FA Cup may sometimes be a little bit boring, but Aston Villa at home will want to win this game, and as we know for Chelsea, it's massively important that they actually do something in what can only be described as a shit season. I'll give you the team news in a minute, although even though it's actually going round next to you anyway. Keeping an eye on Forest against Bristol as well, because that's who my club, Manchester United, will be playing as well. Reality bites. It bloody well does, but that's not the right thing to have on the screen, so I will change that for you. Hope you're doing well. Looking forward to this. Been a bit of a weird week in... I mean, I've been craving this all day. Love football, me. I fucking love football. Yeah, I'm massively looking forward to this because I just feel it's been too long since I watched a football game. So here we go. Here is Mark, says Wolf Wall. Hope you're all doing very well. Nice to see some members in there. Hannah Rocks and Cube. Thank you very much for supporting the channel and getting your badge in. You can do that by clicking the join button. Danny O's here as well. Thank you very much. Red says Villa 3, Chelsea 0. Let's just have a quick look at the team news. Martinez, Cash, Diego Carlos, Longley, Moreno, Kamara, Luis, Bailey, Tillemans, McGinn, Watkins. I'm very pleased from a Man United point of view to see Chelsea going with such a strong... Villa going with such a strong team. We've got the whole week off. They're playing. Doesn't give you a massive amount of advantage because it's still going to be played at Villa Park on Sunday. But you never know. People might pick up fatigue. I don't want people picking up injury, but they might, Pau Torres on the bench for them. Yeah, okay. And then Chelsea, Petrovic, Gusto, Disasi, Badashil, Chilwell, Casido, Fernandez, Gallagher, Palmer, Madueke and Jackson, Thiago Silva on the bench. I mean, I've got to be honest again. I look at that Chelsea side with all due respect to Chelsea fans and I think Jackson shit, Madueke doesn't really seem to have settled. Palmer's good. Gallagher's been good. Casido and Fernandez should be better than they are. And that back four of Badashil, I don't massively... It surprises me because as somebody who Man United were linked to Badashil a few years ago, Man United were linked to Disasi last year and Gusto as well, I'm really disappointed by all three players. I can't lie that there will have been times I've spoken about them as a Manchester United fan, but I don't... Yeah, it's only year one for some of them, but I think Disasi especially is very one to watch. Rebecca Challenger says, Ultras, Ultras, Ultras. Another awesome pod yesterday. Yes, Rebecca is an Ultra. If you listen to the podcast, Goldbridge Saves Football, you're an Ultra. And also, you're also going to be somebody that's ahead of the game. And that's all I'm going to say. There's something going to happen in relation to that podcast very, very soon that is going to make it go boom. And you're going to go, I was glad I was there at the start. Ultras, Ultras, Ultras. Will Brazier's here, who actually is not an Ultra. You're a fucking presenter, you prat. How can you be an Ultra when you're the presenter? You're on the podcast. Bloody prat. Osman leading the front line. Not here. He probably is doing that in the AFCON. I think he's doing it in the AFCON. So he is. I heard that Son and Hwang Hee-chan are on the way back. Didn't they get knocked out of the Asia Cup as well? Apparently Nottingham Forest are winning, says Isha. I'm looking forward to this show tonight. I think it's going to be a good watch-along, and I believe it, and so should you as well. Yes, you should, and make it so. And thanks everybody who watched... Thanks for everybody who watched the Goldbridge Reacts video. I had a little bit of time last night, so I did it. It was about 11:30. And I just thought, you know what? I haven't done a Goldbridge Reacts in ages. This guy fascinates me in a way that... Not necessarily in a good way. You know, when you get fascinated by something, I mean, give us your examples of things that fascinate. Sometimes I'll turn on Facebook and I don't know why, it's because I like wildlife, and you'll see those, what do they call those dragon things with the snake tongues? Somebody will know in the chat. What are they called? They're massive. They killed a baddie in James Bond. They've got a big snake tongue and they walk around like a big dragon. I can't remember what they're called. Komodo dragons, that's it. Look, watching Bevo eat is like watching a Komodo dragon eat a goat live. It's actually very, very, very disturbing and unpleasant. But there's something that makes you watch. So I thought I had to do a Goldbridge Reacts to it, and it was nice to do it back. It was nice to do it. So check it out, Goldbridge Reacts to Bevo. If you don't know who Bevo is, it's amazing. He doesn't choose... Apparently that's the rules, isn't it? Don't chew your food. He's going to get clogged up like the M25 before he's 25. Let me just say that. Chew your food, people. When I was having my teeth done, I couldn't chew my food. And my shit looked like plasticine stuck together. Like John Cena's arm. It was hot. It was painful. It's the only time I've ever thought about lubing up my arse, and it's the only time I will. If you know, you know. Right, on that bombshell, let's get back to business. Manchester United are not playing, but they are playing Villa at the weekend, and therefore I've got a big interest in this anyway. But it's a big one. It's a big one, and we're live. Get involved. Thanks everyone tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. The best place for football chat. Why would I give a shit about that? Not interested in that. Hey, trust me, if it's stuck and it won't come out, you'll try anything. I'd have tried strawberry jam. Anyway. What are the bloody rules, says Matt Hull. It's well worth a watch. Goldbridge Reacts on my channel. Give it a watch. Anyway, back to the football. Manchester United will play Villa at the weekend, but this is the FA Cup. What are your thoughts? Let's get a little bit of a poll going on. The great thing about this poll is I don't have to put draw in because it will go to penalties. Is there extra time, Mark? I would hope not. Life's too short, but I would suspect with the way football is officiated in this country, if it's level after 90 minutes, we probably do have extra time and don't go straight to penalties. But we will get a result tonight. So is it Aston Villa or is it Chelsea? Villa picking their best starting 11. Emery is not resting, is he, says Turp. No, and I think that, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Man United get Aston Villa next round if they get through. But Villa have got Coventry, haven't they, if they get through. I think this is a massively intriguing game. I really, really do. I think the FA Cup can be a bit of a laugh, but both teams are picking their best teams. This is when the FA Cup works for me. The FA Cup works when it's two first teams going head-to-head with each other. And that's what we've got here. Two first teams going up head-to-head to each other because it's massively important for Chelsea and it's massively important for Villa. Bring it on. They've got Leeds, not Coventry. Could be a difficult game. Could be a difficult game. I've played the game. I've played the game. I'm in a good mood tonight. Let's have a good stream. Smash a like on the video. Get involved in the chat. And thanks everyone for tuning in. What was I going to do? Yes, that's what I was going to do. Those Komodo dragons, just while we're talking about them, what a bunch of shits. I mean, they would literally rip the bark off a tree. They've got really strong mouths. But you know the worst thing about them is I look at them and I go, ha ha, you're really small and I'm quicker than you. And then you find out that if they bite you, they've actually got poison in their mouth, which will paralyse you. On that bombshell, we've started the game. I've played the game. Thanks everyone for tuning in. How are we all doing? Villa with the ball. And Chelsea looking to press quickly, but lovely play through the press by, I think that was Kamara on the edge of the box. And Villa, I don't want Villa to play well. I want them to play bad. We're playing them on Sunday. I don't want to see Villa cooking. But, look, I watched this game last week. And, not this game. I watched Villa last week against Newcastle and I couldn't believe it. M. Parker says, I enjoy trolling your copycats and frequently asking them when their Rasmus interview is coming out. Did they ever reply to you, Parker? They're probably desperately trying to, you know, like every post on Insta and hope that they can do it. It's actually a bacterial infection from the bite, not poison, says Tig. Oh, that'll take ages then. Just get to a doctor. Azoria says he thinks Chelsea are going to pull it off. Oh, yeah, the game. Yeah. Casido just got bodied by McGinn. Fast start to the game. HPN's a Villa fan, says we've been awful since Boxing Day. Really worried about the match. Well, the contrast is that I watched Villa play Newcastle last week and you were here, HPN, and they weren't that good. But they battered Sheffield United. But then again, who wouldn't? There's a big quality gap there, isn't there, for Sheffield United, if we're being completely honest. Nice ball into McGinn. Back post. No, it took too long. Edge of the box. Luis thought about hitting it. Matty Cash. Too many touches, I think. McGinn. Offside. No, I think it's going to be a very difficult game for United on Saturday. On Sunday. No doubt. I'm all about the bass, no treble. 79% of you have gone with an Aston Villa win. I'm with you, 79%. I think Villa will win this. Chelsea with no confidence up against a Chelsea side, a Villa side with home advantage and momentum. He was onside there on the back post. Good header here. Bailey. Oh, I tell you what, Villa are just the final pass away here. Fennec has just put the link in the description for Goldbridge Reacts. I'm going to pin that, actually. Have you ever been pinned, Fennec? Do you like wrestling or other things? You've just been pinned. If you want to check out Goldbridge Reacts, that's the link for it. It was a good one today. Good to be back. I don't know what I'll react to next, but big up Goldbridge, says Harry. Big up football. Big up live stream. Big up the chat. Big up my cat. Yeah. Sam says it doesn't matter who goes through because Leeds are going to batter them. Facing Dexter says, we're in the Midlands, aren't we? Yes, I paid for this. Lee Berman says, did you see this wildlife photo of the year? It's a polar bear asleep. Wildlife. Oh, yeah. Lovely. It's a lovely picture of a polar bear asleep on a piece of ice. Yeah. They're not cute. They'll rip your fucking head off and shit down your neck. I wouldn't think twice about it. And they play basketball with your head. Purple Butterfly says they're so cute and fluffy. Yeah. Did you see them? Did you see them killer whales that were all stuck in Japan? Are they dead yet? It was about I think they said, wasn't there 13 killer whales all stuck in this ice pool? Just bobbing up and down. It's like one of them games you used to play as a kid. Unlucky 13. I think there was 9 actually, but it's tragic, But again, you wouldn't want to jump in with them and help them because they'll eat you. Who'd win between Marpe, Diego Costa, and Vidic? Says Dylan. Vidic. Exclusive Gem says, how on earth is Casado worth £110 million? This is on ITV in the UK, James writes. It's free to view. FA Cup. Thoughts on Neil Warnock at Aberdeen, says Rob. May as well give me the fucking job. I mean, the fact that Neil Warnock's still getting jobs in 2024 is incredible. If I was Aberdeen, I'd have given me the job. Just for the views and the social media reach. It's got to be, somebody's got to think about doing that soon. Smaller local team you support, Nathan. Solihull Moors, they won last night. Who's the player that's most impressed you this season, says Vibe. It's hard to do it for everybody, but out of these two teams, Conor Gallagher at Chelsea and obviously Cole Palmer's done well. But I think the fact that they're trying to sell Gallagher is ridiculous. Aston Villa's most impressive player for me this year. You can't not be impressed with Ollie Watkins. The stats don't lie, do they? Fernando Torres owns Vidic and Costa, says Yash. And thank you very much for your super chat. Corner for Chelsea here. Bragg says, what's the perfect ripeness of a banana? I like it when it's hard but ripe. Oh! I don't like that saying, what I just said there. What I'm saying is, with bananas, have you ever tried a really hard banana when it's not ripe and you put it in your mouth and it's powdery? Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. There's nothing worse than a... I think bananas they're a bit like avocados, aren't they? Killer whale wouldn't actually eat a human, but if you jumped in, you still probably die because they're so frightened and stressed, says one. Yeah, you can do that, mate. Killer whales have killed humans. Most underrated player ever, says Vincent Company 4. Underrated player ever? I think underrated players, you've got to look at people like Ji-Sung Park and people like that. Yeah, don't ever eat a green banana. It's like powder in your mouth. And the worst thing is you can't get rid of the taste for ages. Good question by Vincent Company 4. Right, they're in down the left-hand side here, Villa. Good block. Chelsea having to work hard. I just can't. I can't see it. I don't understand Chelsea. I really don't understand what they're trying to do. All these players and all the gear and no idea. Here's a good one. Matt Edge says, who had a better career, Griezmann or Neymar? I don't know, honours-wise. I mean, I'm going to do a poll on that. Oh, no, let's get rid of this poll first. 79% said that Aston Villa will beat Chelsea. And either who had a better career. I like that. It's a bit of an advancement on the traditional either or. I like it. Well done. I do like this. You could do like who had the better career, Gerrard or Luke Chadwick. Who's doing the halftime Super Bowl show? I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl. It'll be on this channel. Sunday's a massive day of streaming. We've got West Ham versus Arsenal on here. Then Man United at Villa Park. Then a bit of a break. And then the Super Bowl from, I think it's from about 11:15. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Can he wait, man? Can he wait, man? Be tired on Monday, though. What's your thoughts on Muller yogurt, says Custard Cream? I don't really eat yogurt as much as I used to. I used to like a fruit corner. Here we go. Bit of space. Jackson. Puts the cross in. Lay it back to Connor Jackson. Goal for Chelsea. Goal for Chelsea, I say. I told you. What have I said? Gallagher goal. Take that. Chelsea 1-0. Well. It's a good finish. It's a very good finish. And it's a funny old game, innit? Funny old game. It's a. I mean, Jackson actually does quite well. He's got loads of space because Matty Cash has gone forward. Villa have still got a lot of players back. Cross comes in. Good finish by Conor Gallagher, though. Edge of the box. Villa have got plenty of players back, but they don't. Oh, it's a good finish. Good finish into the top corner. Just guides it home. Yeah. Precision. Precision engineering. Should be sponsored by Audi. Mark, are you not annoyed about the fact that Ineos hinting government funding? Why should taxpayers pay for it? Also, if this was Glazers, would be uproar. Good point, Joe. Good point, well made. Yeah, well done. Well, you should be proud of yourself. You made a good point. You did. You made a good point. Don't let anyone tell you didn't. When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside. Villa into the box. Could be 1-1. Oh, block. Bailey. Oh, he should have dived. Gets it back. Shoots again. Straight at the keeper. Oh, we've got a game on. We've got a game on here. Villa won't be happy about this. This could be an FA Cup cracker. Not my words. Well, yeah. Not my words. The words of... Well, yeah, it is my words, actually. I am a real American. Fight for the right of every man. Well, what a game. What a game. Chelsea to win this game and get United next round, says Akil. This is the FA Cup, me. Badashil is crap, says Simon Woodward. I think there'll be goals. I don't think Villa won't score, but... I mean, look, it's not. If Chelsea win this, it's not great for United because I can't envisage Villa losing 3 games in a row at home. Having been unbeaten for so long, imagine if they lost to Newcastle, Chelsea, and then we'd have to go there and win as well. This keeps Poch in a job, says Harry. I think Poch stays in a job until the Carabao Cup anyway. I've said that before. Yeah, I think he does. I can't see anything other than that, to be honest. When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside. Bam, 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 bam. Na, 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 na. I am a real American. So, Chelsea lead 1-0 here. Great start for them. Not a great start for Villa, although I think they have been rather expansive in this. The poll is very close. Who had the better career, Griezmann or Neymar? We've got 51% for Griezmann and we've got 49% for Neymar. I suppose Griezmann won a World Cup. Yeah. Hello, Junior and Joss AFC. Kjolson as well. Beef Gravy, did you see Gallagher's goal? I'm literally doing a watch-along, mate. Literally doing a watch-along. Thanks for joining and following. Yeah, Griezmann or Neymar. Thank you very much. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Give us a follow as well. United have Bristol or Nottingham Forest, don't we, says Has? Yes. Yes. Mark, I admit I was one of those Poch to United people back in the day, says Nick P. I fell for the ships passing in the night dream. Would have been more like shits passing in the night. Well admitted, Nick. Well admitted. First, Maidstone beat Ipswich and now this, says Prod. And what's your favourite WWE entrance soundtrack, says the Superfly. Yeah, if you've got any good... You know, if you say, Alexa, play Hulk Hogan's music entrance, it'll do it. I found that out at the weekend. I'd had a few to drink and I was just listening to Alexa, play The Rock's WWE entrance music. Alexa, play John Cena's entrance music. Yeah. Stone Cold's is pretty good. Mickey Van der Ven, now fastest EPL player in history, says CRF Guitar. Well, Chelsea lead 1-0 here. That's the main thing in this FA Cup game. Bret Hart's was good as well, yeah. Batesy says Griezmann doesn't fake injury or get people sent off when it's his sister's birthday. Get himself sent off. If I set your Alexa off, I intended to. Do 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 do. Ultimate Warrior. That's when it was good. Shawn Michaels, I was listening to that one. Why is there screaming 80s rock music coming out of my office, says Nick P. Yeah. Alexa, play... No, don't. Alexa, play Celine Dion. My Heart Will Go On. Alexa, turn it up to 100%. I'm such a kid. Alexa, order 20 tubes of lube from Amazon for next day delivery to my work. Biggest Premier League legacy, Mourinho or Klopp, says Dewey. I will do that one. I'll have to come back to that one. Lucas says, hello from Argentina, bro. Hello, mate. Thanks for Garnacho. And Messi. And Maradona. It's 2... Oh, I tell you what, I thought it was going to be 2-0. Madueke. Chelsea playing with confidence here, and Villa just started off well, but they're struggling a little bit here, our Villa. Thanks, Leiden. Thank you very much. Sandro says, Kimmich to Man United, yes or no? Yes, please. Why aren't there any strings in your hoodie, says Bilal. I pulled them out. You know, it was one of them was right down here and one of them was here, and I just couldn't get it, and I was in a bad mood, and we've probably all been there. And instead of just working it around, I just went, oh, fuck off, and I pulled it out. And then I regretted it straight away because I love this hoodie, but it looks... I need to get the metal out. If I get the metal out, it'll be fine. It looks fine like that. No, it still doesn't look good. Now it looks all right. The Rock is back in WWE, says Jack Glancy, and he's inserted himself... All right, into a 2-year storyline because he's The Rock and his ego rivals Vince McMahon himself. He's back for 2 years. Might start watching it again. Dave Walker, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much for joining. You're an absolute legend. Get your badge in. Rasmus, says Rashford, is. Thanks everyone who has watched Goldbridge Reacts to Bevo, by the way. It was an absolute pleasure to film it. Apart from, I can't stand people eating. I can't stand the noise of people eating with their mouth open. As I said on the video, my mum, when I was about 10, was sat next to me eating while I was trying to watch something on the telly. And I was just like, really? Have you ever been, you know, when on the train when someone's sniffing and you're just like, just got to try and stay calm. And after about a minute, it was getting worse. I'm like, you should eat in a trough, you pig. I mean, who says that to their mother at 10? Got absolutely grounded for that. Goal again! Oh my God, what's going on? It's Nicholas Jackson. Wow. What's going on at Aston Villa? It's 2-0 here. It's 2-0 to Chelsea. What's going on? What the hell is going on? What is going on? Seriously, what is going on? This is incredible. Incredible. Surely Villa aren't going to lose to United at the weekend. This is bad for United. Poch in. Poch in. Justin says, please stop messing with my Alexa. You know that's like a red rag to a bull. Lovely cross came in. It's a delightful cross, you know. It's absolutely pinpoint. Who put the cross in? Was it Gusto? Yeah. That is a delightful cross. Defender can't get near it. Perfect for Jackson. That's a good cross. That'd kill Dracula, that would. This good news, Poch stays, says Joe Wright. And Mark, who would win between a rhinoceros and a hippopotamus? We've done this one before. I believe a hippo would beat a rhinoceros. I'm pretty confident about that. Yeah, pretty confident about that one. Oh, no. Apparently I'm wrong. And rhinoceros is stronger than a hippo and it's got tougher skin. It's also faster. Yeah. So, quicker, stronger, tougher. Rhino would win. Jack says the storyline was already going on for 2 years. He just came back Friday night and went, I'm taking over from here, kid. And the fans are not happy. There we go. Hippo has got the bite. Where did you get that hoodie, says Savage? United Stand Shopify. Just go on there and you can get it. It's in different colours as well. I need to get the white one. The red one's nice as well. Have you seen a great white rhino, Mark? What is it? Like a cross between a rhino and a shark? Imagine that. Imagine a rhino with a mouth like a great white shark. It could hump you with its horn and it could bite you in half with its mouth. You did set my Alexa off, Mark, and I tried the Hulk Hogan theme song and it worked. Brilliant, Isaac. Absolutely brilliant. And Villa have been trash without Torres since December. You ain't going to worry about us. Cons are out now as well. 4th and 5th choice centre-half, says WN. Yeah, but Torres is on the bench. Here's Ollie Watkins. Villa can get back into this game. I still think that this game could be a classic. I think Villa can get back into it. They need to score the next goal, though. Thanks for giving us a follow, everyone. George, Football Me, Legends. Serious question, Mark. Do you ever deliberately feed the memes as captain? No. No. Richard, thank you very much for the follow. Kobe as well. Platinum. Johnny. Casual Gamer. Eugene. Elias. EG Bay. AJB. Thanks for the follows. Nah, anyone who spends any time watching my content knows that I'll feed the memes without trying. Why fake it when you can bake it? Mark, would you beat a polar bear with a katana? Says Philip. For the uneducated, he's talking about a samurai sword. I've already told people there's not many animals I couldn't kill with a samurai sword. And as I've said before, this comes with a footnote and a star. I wouldn't kill an animal with a samurai sword. But in self-defense, I would. And there's not many I couldn't kill. Because I used to play a lot of lightsaber fights when I was a kid with long wrapping paper, cardboard, and it's the same motto. Who would you want as the next Liverpool manager if you supported them, says Kenny. Good question. Who knows? Thank you very much. I think Liverpool should go for Alonso. I think there's always going to be an element of risk. Look, if you're married to the love of your life and they leave you, then it's going to be very hard to find somebody as good as them. So you've got to just try and go for the next best thing and hope it works out. And basically that's what's happening to Liverpool. Klopp is the love of their life. He's leaving them. And they've got to get back on the market and ride a few horses and hopefully get on the right ride first. Can't believe how close the poll is. Who had the better career, Griezmann or Neymar? 51% Griezmann and 49% Neymar. Fans are outraged, says Jack. They've started booing him and chanted Rocky sucks throughout Raw. They're treating him like they did back in 96. Yeah, they'll need to turn that around. Alfie says, what are your opinions on Grimsby? Don't actually know where it is, for a start. I'm doing well tonight, Balio. Thank you very much. I do need a bit of a stretch. Bear with me. Got my pyjamas on. I'm very tired this week, and I don't know why. Don't know why. Been getting a lot of good sleep, but just very tired. I'm stunned by this game, though. Villa losing 2-0 at home to Chelsea. I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing for Manchester United. Second time in a row at home after such a great record. Villa in the mud, says Jay. Villa in the mud. If you're watching on YouTube, by the way, please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We are on the road to... We're 10 away from 102,000. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Thank you very much for tuning in. Absolute legends. And thanks to everyone who's given us a follow, like Daniel Moore and Sundeep and James and Callum and Darren and TB11. And Sam Howard as well. Absolute legends. Welcome to the show. Are you going to start a channel like Bevo now that you've done a Bevo Reacts? No, I think it's very good content, though. Just sit there eating your dinner, marking it out of 10. I couldn't do it. You know me, when I do the charity stream, I get really guilty and I hit the mute button when I'm eating. I just think I think a lot of people, I always thought a lot of people don't like the sound of people eating food. Mark, you're getting old. That's why you're tired, says Philip. Yeah, probably. Thanks for that. Why has Zidane taken such a long break, says the Superfly? Because he's going to be like Pep. He wants to take the right projects. You know, Mourinho's desperate for anything. You know, last week he was desperate for Man United. Then he heard Poch might get the sack. Oh, I'd love to come back. I tell you what, if Burnley sack their manager, he'll love Burnley. I don't know whether you've already talking about this, but what are your thoughts on the apparent new stadium for Man United, says Kevin? Dead against it. Dead against it. Don't want to leave Old Trafford. Oliver says, Villa have lost their last 5 cup games, FA Cup games. Oh, dear. And home games at home, sorry. And CG says, who would win between a bear and a gorilla? CG, I think a bear wins that. Unless it's a koala bear, in which case it'd be a massacre. You just knock it. I reckon a gorilla with an uppercut could knock a koala bear from Australia to New Zealand. They're tiny. Just feel like boom, and it'll go Wah! Whatever noise it makes. It's the circle of life. Who had the better career, Ronaldinho or Kaká, says Optimus. I better end this because Griezmann's won it. What was the other one somebody said? Someone came up with a really good one. I can't remember what it was. I watched Killers of the Flower Moon. That's a very long film. Villa need a goal here before half time, don't they? I've ordered some American sweets for my Super Bowl watch-along on Sunday night if you want to join me. So basically every year I do a Super Bowl watch-along and I have a load of American sweets and drinks. So the problem is I can't find anywhere that I can get drinks from America before Sunday. So if anyone's got any tips on where to get them from, let me know. Rory says, Mark, Toblerone or Galaxy? Great question. I don't care what people say in the chat. I would say Toblerone, but I like them both. Yeah, Lizzie, a lot of supermarkets don't sell them. You have to get it ordered in. Come on, Villa, make a game of it. Have to pick one. Liverpool 20th Premier League or City 4 times, says Gary. Yeah, I know I have to pick one, but I don't have to pick one tonight. I still hold a hope out that Villa or someone can produce a miracle. Not Villa or Arsenal or Spurs. I love Toblerone. I love the chewy bits inside it. Yeah, so I don't even drink fizzy drinks, and I don't really eat sweets. But on Sunday night, once a year on the Super Bowl, I just eat all these sweets and stuff, which is good because it helps me stay awake. Chelsea are very dominant, says Oscar. They're very confident. This is what confidence can do to a team, isn't it? There's no rhyme to reason. 79% of you before the game said Villa would win, and I agree. I do agree. Have you ever seen Oasis live? Says FPL Minute. Yes. Lansdowne Road was the last time I saw him live. Mark, please get a what? I don't know what that is. Let me have a look what it is. Don't ever say words on a stream you don't know what they are. You could be in all sorts of trouble. A 32-ounce bottle of beer. Wow. Krispy Kreme or Dunkin' Donuts? Krispy Kreme, Mike. And Yash, thank you very much for your super chat. Appreciate that, mate. Got someone from Greenland saying you'll never walk alone. Is it still dark there? I've been watching that True Detective, and I don't know whether I could live in a world like that. Well, you don't know till you've tried it. That's what I always say to Mrs. Goldbridge. But yeah, it's mad, isn't it? You watch that True Detective that's out at the moment, and it's all set around Christmas, and they're dealing with these murders, and it never gets light. Never gets light. It's just dark all the time. I just want to go to bed. Imagine where we're going for lunch. It's pitch black outside. I am doing Super Bowl Sunday dash. Cross comes in. Chelsea clear. Yeah, it's amazing what confidence does in football, isn't it? Chelsea are playing with loads of confidence now, and Madueke here has barged his way through into Cole Palmer. He's going to shoot. Oh, good shot as well. Good save. I mean, Chelsea just playing with so much confidence now, and Villa are playing with none. Yash says, does Garnacho remind you of a young Ronaldo? No. No. It's like these idiots who say that Mainoo's just like Paul Pogba. I think Mainoo's like Mainoo, but if you ask me a player that he reminds me a little bit of, it's Jack Wilshere, who was a good player. He just got injury prone. I don't think Mainoo does not remind me of Paul Pogba at all. Shay has come out with a great comment here. You own a pub. What are the 5 beers you'd have on tap and why? So you've got to have... It's a very personal thing, but if I had 5 on tap, I'd have Guinness. I'd have Peroni. I'd have Amstel. Moretti and Carling for the laugh. I actually do like Daniel says Budweiser. I do like Budweiser. I'm one of the few. I do like Budweiser. Oh, Camden Hells as well. I'll bin off. I'll probably bin off. I'll probably bin off one of the Italians for that. You don't need Peroni and Moretti, do you? I presume they're both Italian. I'd be surprised if they're not. I had these pint cans of Budweiser for Christmas. Really liked them, actually. To be honest, I haven't... Moretti's Spanish, actually. Thank you very much. I've always liked Amstel. I think Amstel's a Dutch beer, isn't it? Yeah, you've got to have a Guinness. You've got to offer a Guinness. Not bothered about cider. Not bothered about cider. Unless it's insider. But before anyone else says it. Paul, are 3 youngsters or Madrid's Vinny, Cami and Bellingham? Mate, Vinicius, Camavinga and Bellingham are better than Garnacho, Rasmus and Mainu, but I ain't giving them up for anything because that's what club loyalty is all about. Best pub in Dublin, Mark, says SM. Hairy Lemon. Yeah. Hairy Lemon. Is it giving a corner? Yeah, it's giving a corner. Cranberry and vodka, says John. You know what? If I was having vodka, I'd have lime soda and vodka. Corner comes in from Villa. Oh, all the way across the 6-yard box, but it's falling for Chelsea tonight. Mark, if you would be in the WWE, what would your entrance music be? You also missed my last super chat, but it's all good. I don't miss them, Jeet. I just go back and check them. Robert Calf says Curtis's granny's here. She can't be. She's dead. Birra Moretti, that's Italian for beer, says Kenneth. I should know that. United have to play at Wembley for 2 seasons whilst Old Trafford is refurbished or build a new stadium, says Andy. Yeah, they'd never do that, though, because it's London, isn't it? They'd probably sell it out, though. The Hardy Boys entrance for me, but the absolute beast is Billy Gunn's I'm an Ass Man, says Jeet. There you go. I am a real American. James says, shout out my son Ollie, he's skiing in France. I'd have to shout bloody loud, mate, and I don't want to cause an avalanche. Daniel says, is Aston Villa away hard to win? Well, normally it is, but obviously they've lost their last 2 games. It's weird. Look, 2-0, it's not over. This game's not over. 2-0 is not over yet. But it is, what it is surprising. It's very surprising to be in this position. Aston Villa really is surprising. And as I said, it's a confidence thing. Chelsea, if they'd gone 1-0 down, their heads would probably drop. But they're playing with some confidence tonight with that early goal. Get the second goal. Lovely goal it was. Great cross by Gusto. And Villa just looking a little bit lost at the moment. Defensively fragile. But I tell you what, I've been in this position. There'll be a lot of Chelsea fans that feel that they're sort of on the pathway to sacking the manager. And it's a dangerous time when you're like that, because people will be like, you know, when you start thinking you want a manager to be sacked, you almost get into the position of not wanting them to win, dare I say. Now, I've never been in that position myself, but there could well be a few Chelsea fans that are a little bit like that tonight, which is weird in my opinion. Gary Sanger says, "Do you think Erik ten Hag is the man to take Man United to the next level?" I think he's the man to. I don't think we should be sacking him. I think he's whether he's the man to take us to the next level or not, I don't know. But I don't think he should be being sacked in the next few minutes, months. Mark, you know the rules. Big up the Americans. Ketchup and beans on toast, says Chris. I'm glad everyone's enjoying that video. It's on my niche channel, but Goldbridge reacts to Bevo on the Mark Goldbridge YouTube channel. Check it out. Check it in. Let it begin. There's actually a little bit of a clip of it on my TikTok channel at the moment. Eunice says, get oiled up immediately. I'll be there in 5. Oh, my God. What's harder, Mark? A 147, a 9-darter, or a hole-in-one? Says Shay Cunningham. What a great question for everybody to get involved in. What's harder? A 147 in snooker, a 9-darter in darts, or a hole-in-one? Can we expect more interviews with players, says the Superfly? I would hope so. I think it's been a rip-roaring success considering we've had over 3 million views in 48 hours across all our platforms. So, you know, what a way to, you know, spread positivity. The hardest thing to do out of a 147 for snooker, a 9-darter in darts, or a hole-in-one in golf, I will give you the categoric answer now. A hole-in-one is the easiest to do because it can be done on pure luck. A 9-darter is the second hardest to do because it is difficult, but an amateur can learn how to do it. A 147 in snooker is virtually impossible, even for somebody who's good at snooker. So the 147 is definitely harder. The 9-darter is second, and the hole-in-one is third. And anyone who says anything, I'll fight you. You're completely wrong. 9-darter can be done by an amateur. It can. And a hole-in-one, I know loads of people who've done holes-in-one, and they're not professionals. Would you rather have Petrovic or Anana? Says Kyle. I'd rather have Anana. Let's see what he can do. Have you ever tried cucumber on toast? No, I haven't. Somebody just asked for a footballer for an edit. Good player for a football edit at the moment. Someone like Cole Palmer, Garnacho, someone like that. It was the Klopp versus Jose legacy poll. Right, I'll do that now. Who has the better legacy? Klopp or Jose? There you go. The hardest is a 147 in snooker, says Martin, and the 9-darter I've scored many holes in one, but could that be I play golf and suck at darts and snooker? Well, I'm very good at pool and I'm half decent at snooker, but I'll never get anywhere near a 147, whereas I'm okay at darts, and I reckon if I played it enough, I could do a 9-darter. A hole-in-one, I could do that. I don't even play golf. Just smack it. Thanks for the follows, by the way. I'll shout some out as you do it. And then the one time... Oh, we 3. Thank you very much. It's about to be half-time here, and it's still 2-0. I mean, Villa have just got worse since it's gone 2-0 down. Tranmere, Sean Reynolds, Soberstone, Galactic, 007. Hi, handsome, says Joz. Not going to miss something like that. Lewis, thank you very much. Welcome. Chris, AC. Opinions on Rishi Sunak. We don't do politics here. Ryan, thank you. You know what? I have my politics. I don't really take any notice of them. But after the last general election in this country, I just take no notice of, you know, the Gary Linekers and the Gary Nevilles of this world who spout their politics, or anybody who spouts politics on social media. I just don't listen to it. Because after the last election, if you listened to Twitter, you'd have been convinced Labour was going to win every vote. And then the Conservatives absolutely smashed them. So I don't take any note. People shouldn't ram their politics down your throat anyway. Go on, whip the cross in. Oh, it's going to go for a goal kick. Chelsea fans are feeling good at the moment. 2-0 up. What's going wrong with Aston Villa? Have Villa been good, says Northie. They were good for about the first 10 minutes. And then since the goals, they've just... Again, I mean, I suppose that's what... Look, when we were talking about Villa winning the Premier League or getting top 4, one of the big talking points was they won't have the bottle/experience when it gets down to the business end. And I suppose this game is quite reflective of that. Aston Villa have been brilliant for a long time, but when you look at the Newcastle game and you look at this game, they don't seem to have that bounce back ability in the big games. And go on. Oh, over the bar from McGinn. Start, bench, sell. Biscuits, ice cream, crisps, says Gary. Well, I'm trying to cut down on sugar, so I would sell biscuits, bench ice cream, and eat crisps. Do you think Hull will get promoted this season, says Harvey? I haven't got a fucking clue, mate. Wouldn't have thought so. Where do you think Osman's going to go, says Ollie the Main. Nothing going to happen with this corner. Rubbish. Tom Garrett said, you're next. I'd have to be asleep and paralysed, and I wouldn't be able to get it up then. No way. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. And I've got nothing against people who want to do that. I just don't want it to happen. And if it did happen, then you can take it from me that if I was comatose and unable to move and someone did that to me, just know from this clip that it would be against my will, and therefore it's abuse. What you had for tea, Marks, is Don. I had a bloody lovely tea tonight. I had sticky rice, which is like rice with coconut milk, and then, no, coconut rice and sticky chicken with like soy and a sticky sauce. It was absolutely incredible. And then pak choy is the green. Lovely, lovely stuff. One of my favourite dinners. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Anyway, it's half time here. Chelsea leading this game by 2-0 away to Aston Villa. Who would have thought that? Who would have thought that? I don't think many people would have thought that. I don't think many Chelsea fans would have thought that, the way things are going for them at the moment. But look at the statistics. The statistics suggest that Chelsea have had 56% possession. They've had 9 shots to Villa's 6. They've had 5 shots on target to Villa's 3. They've had 4 corners to Villa's 3. Their pass completion is 91% to Villa's 85%. There is no better way of saying that Chelsea have been the better side than 2-0, and the stats prove it as well. So it's been a very, very, very convincing performance from Chelsea so far. Harvard Edge says, who will win in a fight between you and Michael Oliver? Me. I'm not a violent person, and I don't agree with in solving anything with violence, but I wouldn't lose to Michael Oliver at darts, fighting, running, skipping, jumping, chess, spelling, anything. Anything ending in ing, I will beat him at. I've just thought fisting is... No, we're not doing that. But I would beat him at anything. There are people in life that you just know you would beat at anything because you wouldn't allow yourself to lose. What about pillow fighting? Yeah, I'm good at that. Yeah. I actually I once had a girlfriend who... I sort of misread the signs, because when I grew up, pillow fighting could be quite vicious. Like me and my mates used to do it. Not now. Can imagine me and Will pillow fighting. Will hit me. But no, we used to do it around my mate's house. King size beds weren't that popular when I was a kid, so my mate had a king size bed, so we used to use it. Oh, it sounds really bad again. We all used to go around his house and play wrestling or boxing on there, and then sometimes you'd have a pillow fight, and like the amount of nosebleeds, a pillow can be quite lethal with the right force and whip. Anyway, I was around a girlfriend's house once in my late teens, and she obviously thought a pillow fight could be a bit of a starter in the old foreplay game. But I just went back to my roots of playing with my mates, and she sort of caught me around the head, and the zip hit me in the eye, and needless to say, it didn't end well. But technically I did win. You deserve a chant. Make yourself a chant, please, says Tobias. And I've still got the scar around my eye. It's like a very faint scar from the zip. Thanks for giving us a follow, Brad. And actually, Mrs. Goldbridge won't mind me telling you this, actually. We were playing football at the park in our early 20s, just when we just started going out. And we just went down the park with a football, which I thought was very, very forward-thinking from her. And she said, well, you know, I quite like, you know, I used to play football at school. I was like, all right, okay. And automatically started thinking about what went on in the changing rooms, but I was young. And then I was like, she nutmegged me. Like, she literally took me on and nutmegged me. And, you know, I was just, like, being friendly and, you know, we were at the start of our relationship. So I was just like, okay. She nutmegged me. And then I could just tell that she was showing off a bit. So I just slid tackle 2 foot. I regret it now. But at the end of the day, those are the rules. If you're going to take the piss, if you're going to do the crime, you've got to do the time. And, yeah, it was really muddy. And we were meant to be going down the pub afterwards. Needless to say, she had to go home and get changed. Start, bench, sell. Biscuit, I've done that one. Dan V says he's still got his scar. He's still got his scar. It's old Mark Goldbridge. He's still got his scar. Who would win, a shark or crocodile, says Leroy. Depends where they're fighting. If it's in the Atlantic, the crocodile's going to die. If it's in a pond in Australia, the shark's fucked. What's Luke Shaw's current market value, says John? Good question. I would say that the value of Luke Shaw... How old is Luke Shaw, actually? Luke Shaw is currently 28, and he'll be 29 in the summer, so he's slightly younger than I thought. I'd say Luke Shaw's value at the moment is probably, if they tried to sell him, 40 mil. Yeah? Yeah. Thank you, Paul. Says you speak a lot of sense. June Quinn says, will Greenwood play for United again? I wouldn't have thought so, but you never know. Gaffer says, chips with curry sauce or chips with gravy? If it's chip shop chips, it's a hell of a battle, that. Chip shop chips with gravy or chip shop chips with curry sauce. They're both elite, but I think gravy with chips done the right way has to win. And we're discriminating a large proportion of our audiences here because they'll be like, what's gravy on chips? But it's absolutely incredible. Chip shop gravy with chips, pie, and mushy peas. I often don't buy fish. Freddie Cole says, thoughts on Tom Garrett response video? I don't know what the response was. Mate, I've blanked it out, you know. Let people do what they want to do. If it's consensual, at the end of the day, it's up to them, isn't it? But, yeah, no, nothing more to say. In my younger days, I also thought girls appreciated a good pile drive, but not quite what she was expecting, especially when followed up off the top rope, says SK. Yeah, well, look, if they're gonna... We live in a world now, thank God, of diversity and equality. And if they're on the pitch, then let's play football. And what's part of football? Tackling. RJ says, when are you retiring, mate? I don't know. I actually think, I mean, if anybody actually cares, I actually came close last August. No one's ever asked me this, so I'll answer it. It's half time. Came really close last August. Just sort of tired and in a bad place mentally as well. Tired. And it was going to be the start of another season. And when you've done so many seasons and you've done so many transfer windows and tournaments, I was just at the point where I thought, got really close to just like, so easy just to switch off and say, I'm not going to do it anymore. Go on a big holiday. And yeah, so I have come close a couple of times. And I think actually, to bring it back to football, what Jurgen Klopp did a couple of weeks ago really resonated with me, that I will do that. It will just be an out. And I think that's the best thing to do. It's better to burn out than to fade away. Mama, hey, hey. What a song. What a tune. Do I believe in Ten Hag, says Sam, Safi. Well, he's not bloody Santa Claus or the Tooth Fairy. He does exist. Yes, I do believe in him. I've seen him. He actually is real. In a footballing sense, I do back him, yes. I don't know what the song is. I just like it, Shirley. Hi, Mark. Did the doggy with the missus... What? Dan John, I can't even read this. Did the doggy with the missus absolutely binned her off after she barked? Absolutely mood killer. God. You could have wrote it better. You could have wrote that a lot better. Thanks everyone who's given us a follow, like Kieran and Will and Tom as well. Thank you very much. Make sure if you're on YouTube, you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We nearly hit 102,000. So thanks everyone who's clicked and subscribed. Bottom right-hand corner to do that. Absolute legends. Just to let you know as well, being as it's half time, obviously we've got daily content on That's Football YouTube channel. Our next watch-alongs are Everton against Man City at 12:30 on Saturday. West Ham against Arsenal on Sunday, and then Crystal Palace against Chelsea on Monday, with obviously the Super Bowl here on Sunday night as well. So lots to get involved in. Make sure you subscribe. Mad Muba says this match is going to end 4-4. I still do see a way back in for Aston Villa. Yeah, I still see a way back for Aston Villa. Some people might say you're mad, but I think if they can get the next goal, there is. Jack Wheeler says Villa feels so damaged with all these injuries. Not mentioned in the media, though. Who Villa got injured? Konza, Mings, Torres. I mean, they should be mentioned. You're right. 3 centre-backs out injured should be mentioned. Having said that, Costa and Longley, they're not bloody Jones and Smalling, are they? I mean, Chris Smalling's actually quite good. I should have thought of someone else. Titus Bramble and Phil Jones. Like, they're not bad players, Longley and Costa. So, yeah, I agree with you. But... Dan John says, I'm serious. I let the mother-in-law know about her dirty deeds. Ganacho or Greenwood, says Football IQ. Right here, right now, Ganacho, yeah. Just younger, at United, delivering for United. Why go back? Why go back? Start bench sell, Boris Johnson, Gary Neville or Coldplay, says Jimmy. That's got to be the biggest, weirdest start bench sell ever. Sell Boris Johnson, bench Coldplay, start Gary Neville. I mean, they're all different shades of something, aren't they? But yeah, I think I've got to be honest there. Jimmy, thank you very much. Kansas City Chiefs or San Francisco 49ers? Gary, I think the Chiefs will win quite comfortably. They've got the experience. They're the Man City of the NFL. But I want the 49ers to win. Yeah. We're in London, aren't we, says AP. Prime Salah or Drogba, says Alex. It's got to be Salah, although I think Drogba was absolutely fantastic. What game we watching, says Joshua Owen. It's Villa against Chelsea, and it's 2-0. Although there are other games going on tonight. Let me just keep you up to date with what's going on in the football, because there are other games going on. It's 1-1 between Nottingham Forest and Bristol, which is relevant to Man United because Man United will play the winner of those games. And Origi scored after 8 minutes for Forest and Knight scored for Bristol City. Forest have put a strong team out and so have Bristol. In the Asia Cup semi-final, Qatar beat Iran 3-2. So they're getting better at football, that's for sure. And in the Africa Cup of Nations semi-finals, Ivory Coast are 0-0 with DR Congo, and Nigeria went through on penalties against South Africa. Ivory Coast are the hosts, of course. So it'd be good if they got to the final. Hibs are playing Celtic. You know, I was meant to be at that game. True story. True story. I was meant to be at that Hibs Celtic game tonight. Long story. Me and Will were going to go and watch Hibs play Celtic tonight. Will and me then got invited to the Super Bowl. I couldn't go to the Super Bowl, so Will was going to go to the Super Bowl, and then that got cancelled at the last minute. So we didn't go to Edinburgh, and we didn't go to the Super Bowl. But we're fine. We're not bothered about it. When it comes to spicy food, what's your personal taste? Thai or Indian, says Wilson. I don't actually eat a lot of Thai food, so I would say Indian. And that's another thing about Bevo. He just has a bloody korma. You know, I could eat a korma without swallowing. It's it's like water. Who has a korma when you have an Indian? Just don't have an Indian. It's very obvious you don't like Indian food. Don't have a korma. It's just basically stew. Korma is like toast in English food. Or, you know, it's just an absolute waste of time. Oh, I'll just have a plain rice and a korma and a bit of naan. You bland prat. What's the point in having a korma? Absolute nonsense. It really is. Bevo versus Goldbridge and Misfits, says Carl. Mate, well, I've got nothing against him. I actually thought he was quite entertaining until he put food in his mouth. I just don't like watching people eat. Players are coming out for the second half here. Mark, how do I get to take me back, says Dan. I missed the usual Wolves cheers. I'm enjoying the watch along. Thanks, Dan. And I'd say don't call her a dog. That might help. Would be very upsetting if United Stand community couldn't celebrate winning a league title with you before you decide to hang it up, pal. Hope it happens. What a way to go. That would be cool collectible. I mean, look, ideally, United win the treble again, and that's it. We move. But I don't know. That'd be a nice way. I suppose it's the journey, isn't it? Will fans be Ten Hag out if United win the cup? I think it'd be very hard for United to win the FA Cup. Man City are still in it. Liverpool are still in it. Would you step back from United Stand and do more That's Football, says Smell? I don't know. I do enjoy That's Football. I think the watch-alongs are far more... well, they're not more enjoyable. When you watch United, it's passionate and you're engaged and there's very little time to just chill. But when I'm doing a That's Football watch-along, I enjoy the football, but I enjoy the chat a little bit more as well. It's more laid back. Scrambled, fried or poached eggs, says David. I prefer poached. How do you like your eggs in the morning? I like mine with a kiss. I actually like mine poached, actually. You know what? I don't care about the kiss, because if you give me scrambled eggs, I'll be pissed off. So if you're going to give me a kiss, make sure they're poached as well, because the kiss will mean nothing if they're scrambled. We're about ready to go here for the second of half. I think. What's going on here? Oh, I know. We're up and running. Second half. Thanks for the follow. Bozzy and Niall and Mark and Bishop. Thanks for the follows. And Coventry. Seesaw says people buy hot curries and then tip yogurt on them. The only thing I like sour cream with is fajitas. And that's just... they're not even that hot. I just like the texture. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe, Erica. You'll see a little badge. Click it and subscribe. Thank you very much. Dan John says, Mike, I understand the hype about Drake now. What a singer. I don't know the Drake story. So... whoosh. If Liverpool came knocking on your door, would you sign for them? Well, it's a double, yes. One, I get to play professional football, and two, I'd be shit, and so would Liverpool therefore be shit. So it's a double win. Akil says it looks like Aston Villa is preparing for the game against United. They'll lose this and get all their energy back on Sunday. United have the momentum, says Akil. Yeah, I don't know whether this is good or bad for United on Sunday, that Villa are losing again. I would suggest bad, because Villa were unbeaten at home for like 13 months. And now they've lost, well, if they lose this, they'll have lost 2 in a row. Can you really see them losing 3 in a row? So I actually think it'd be better for United if Villa come back into this game. I don't know. Player of the season so far, says Noodles. That's a great question. Who's your player of the season so far? I'm trying to think who they're going to give it to. Who are they going to give player of the season to this year? Salah? Last year it was always going to be Erling Haaland. Declan Rice is a shout. Son. I don't think Cole Palmer gets it. I don't think he gets player of the year. He might get Young Player of the Year, but I don't think he'll get Player of the Year. Yeah. I mean, look, if Man City are going for a treble again, it will be Pep Manager of the Year. It will be Rodri, normal Player of the Year as well. But right now, it's quite interesting. You're right. My Player of the Year so far, you know what? I think what I do say again, what Ollie Watkins has done, goals and assists for Villa, is pretty incredible. Yeah. Not very interesting, but better to burn out than fade away is from Hey Hey My My by Crazy Horse and Neil Young, recorded in 78 and released in 79. This is Blazing Ace and covered by Oasis. That's how I know it. Predictions for Man City against Everton. Comfortable Man City win. I don't like doing Man City watch-alongs, actually, but I am going to do that. But yeah, they'll having watched Everton against Spurs, they could beat them. I reckon that could be 4, maybe even 5. Thanks for the follow, Harry and Paul and Kay Byrne and Iller and JS and Andy. Is Ross Barkley a Player of the Year contender? Absolutely not. He's having a good month, maybe Player of the Month, but not Player of the Year. Would you want Seb to take over the United stand, says Abbas? Only if he was interested in doing it. I mean, it'd be very nice for me, but you know, you've got to be interested in it. And there's a difference between being a fan of football and doing what I do. I mean, it's a certain type. Who would you rather win the league, Man City or Liverpool? Dinky, I get asked this at least 10 times a day, and my answer is I don't need to answer that at the moment because it's not an either or. Arsenal are still in it. Spurs are still technically in it. There is a point where I'm going to have to answer it, but we're not at that point yet, thankfully. I'd like to see a Villa goal, just to make this a little bit more interesting. What's your FPL strategy with the double game week, says J-Dog. What? When's the double game week? When's the double game week? Why is there a double game week? Not everyone's playing in the double game week, are they? I forgot about these. Yeah, you start to get these double game weeks now, don't you? I'd want Spurs to win the title over Arsenal, Liverpool and Man City because they're the least inoffensive club. Hi Josh, hope you're doing well. James Rads as well. Cheers everyone. Nice ball into McGinn. John McGinn lives not far away from me because I saw him the other day. He had a black tracksuit on and white trainers, and he was smaller than me. And I thought, he's brave. Not because like I'm bigger than him, but because he was wearing white trainers and it was quite muddy and wet underfoot. I thought I wouldn't wear my white trainers in this type of weather. But he can probably afford it. If he probably goes home and they're a bit dirty, chucks them in the bin and goes and buys some more. He's loaded, isn't he? You know, David Beckham apparently used to change his trainers every day. What a waste. You got to think of the environment, David. Come on. Thanks, Ann Witt. Says, I love your shows. As an Arsenal fan, you're not that biased. I need to do a live measure. Not of that, but of my height. Because I have always been 6 foot, but I was stood next to Rasmus the other day, who's 6'3", and I was like, that looks bigger than 3 inches. Which sounds horrific, but we're talking about height. Good free kick position here for Chelsea. What's a Villa fan's favourite drink? John McGuinness, says Chris. Lovely stuff. Yeah, I'm going to do a live measure. Are you wearing lipstick? No, I'm bloody not, Leo. Probably having a heart attack or something. Don't they say that happens on your lips? No, they go pale. I'm all right. They do look a little bit like I've got lipstick on now. Even I'm looking at it and going, have I got lipstick on? I definitely haven't. I might have had an allergic reaction to something. Yeah, I think your lips go pale when you're going to have a heart attack. And then when they go darker, I think you're allergic to something. Hello, Boob Lover. Not my name, the name of someone in the chat. Is that sexist, Boob Lover? I don't think it is. Is it discriminatory to be an admirer of a women's muscle? What a fucking goal. Oh my God. What a goal. One of the free kicks of the season. Enzo Fernandez has just made it 3-0. He's reminding everybody of who he is. He's got his shirt up. Yep, and Nicholas Jackson's kissing it. He'd kiss anything. Have you seen the video with Astrid Witt? But he's got his shirt out, but I want to see the goal again. What a goal. Nicholas Jackson wants to shag the shirt, I think. We all know whose shirt it is. He's probably trying to claim the goal. What a free kick. My God, that is what a goal. What a goal that is. Unbelievable free kick from Enzo Fernandez. I mean, they spent a lot of money on the lad, and that is just perfect. Absolute perfection. Look at this. Up and over a jumping wall. Dip, dip, dip. Martinez at full stretch. I mean, you could watch that again and again and again because it's absolutely perfect. Well, I said the next goal was going to be important. Villa again. What the hell? I mean, I don't know what this means for United on Sunday. Does it mean Villa are shit? Or are they going to absolutely be revved up? Probably the latter, but wow. Wow. What's your combined Man United and Chelsea 11, says Hawks? I mean, that is one I can't do. I mean, I'd be here all day. It's just incredibly difficult to do that. I mean, what's Chelsea's best 11 for a start? Well, we've just seen a absolutely brilliant shot and a brilliant goal. Villa have put a very strong team out, Snaps, yeah. Nico says, what did Jackson do with Astrid Witt? Oh, didn't he get caught on a camera with her or something? I don't know. I don't know. Thank you, Zach. Kamikaze says, all we need now is a couple of Villa injuries. Ooh, you're harsh. Victor says, I'm a Liverpool fan. I want to ask, how did you feel when Ferguson left Man United? Great question, because you've got it coming up with Klopp. But I think when Sir Alex left, scared. I think that was there was sadness. It was like the 7 stages of grief, wasn't it? But there was sadness. There was acceptance that he deserved to go on his own terms, and there was the respect. And then there was the fear. Just absolute fear that this person that you knew every year was going to get you competing was now gone. Yeah. Edgar says, have you noticed that United's youth talent gets sold after they go on loan? The ones that come through to the first team haven't gone on loan, says Edgar. Well, Enzo Fernandez won the free kick. I don't know. I'd have to keep an eye on that, see if when it happens. Real says, what's your opinions on Sheffield Wednesday? I've always liked Sheffield Wednesday. What a free kick. What a free kick. I've always liked Sheffield Wednesday. I don't know why, but I've always liked Sheffield Wednesday. I think it's because when I was growing up in the early 90s, they had a really quite exciting team. They were sort of like the Brighton in 92-93 season. They got to 2 cup finals. Paul Warhurst, Chris Waddle, players like that. I quite liked them then. Yeah, they should be in the Prem. I mean, when was the last time they were in the Prem? I say they should be in the Prem. They shouldn't be in the Prem, actually. But I would have always had Sheffield Wednesday as a Premier League club, but they've just been out for so long. So long. Paul Hurst, yeah. John Sheridan. I'm trying to think who else they had playing for them. I think Des Walker might have been there then, actually. Who was in goal for them? Pressman. Was it Pressman in goal? Yeah. I think Colton Palmer was there as well. Joshy says, what a free kick. Paul Warhurst was a centre-back who went and played up front for Sheffield Wednesday because they had an injury crisis up front, and then he couldn't stop scoring goals, ended up getting called up for England as a striker, and was an absolute championship manager legend. Like, if anyone can remember, Mark, chat on his name now, says Football Clips. Don't know what that means. But, yeah, I mean, look, Football Manager, a lot of you will know that, but they used to have something called Championship Manager in the 90s. Paul Warhurst was brilliant at it. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, this is just incredible. Chelsea look more likely to get the fourth. Emery out, says Billy. Another corner here for Chelsea. If you could meet any celebrity, who would it be? I love the show, Mark's show. Any celebrity? Wow. I think, for me, footballers don't really do it for me. Unless it's... I mean, Ronaldo would be pretty good. But I think I'm probably more in awe of film stars. I think there's something about film stars that are a little bit more, you know, mythical than footballers. Because I've met so many footballers, so... I think a film star, I mean, I think meeting someone like De Niro or Pacino would be pretty cool. Or music. Look, to me, I know he's a City fan, but someone like Liam Gallagher would be pretty cool to meet as well. Christian would love to meet Kate Upton. Yeah, Lorraine from ITV would be great to meet as well. Apparently she's a bit of a bitch. Oh, no, that might be Cilla Black, actually. Oh, I remember when we did that a couple of weeks ago. I loved that. That website of all the it was like a website for people who work on planes, and they had this little forum about celebrities who were arseholes. Apparently Mick Hucknall, he's another redhead. Must be something about them, fiery. Joe Shannon says Paul Merson's article about not giving Chelsea a chance against Villa is going to age well. Yeah, but I don't think he was wrong about that. I mean, I think 79% of us voted that Villa would win. I'm very surprised by this. But look, I'll tell you something for free. I don't think Chelsea are back. I genuinely don't think Chelsea are back, and I don't think any Chelsea fan thinks they're back. They're capable of these one-off games because they've got quality players, but consistency is the problem, isn't it? They've played well tonight. Scouse says, do you know the rules yet, Mark? No. Here's a good question from Alex Keys. Says, which of the old school sleeping giant teams would you have back in the Premier League and at the expense of who? Well, you know, I don't want to be disrespectful to Sheffield United, but I'd swap them out for Sheffield Wednesday just to give them a go. They're an old school team. Leeds have had their chance. Old school, who would you say is old school that's not... I mean, for me, before Forest came back, I think they were an old school one. Leeds are an old school one. Sheffield Wednesday are a Norwich, Portsmouth, maybe even Ipswich. They were good in the 80s. Blackburn Rovers, yeah. Bradford, not for me. Wimbledon, Portsmouth, yeah, good shout. Bolton, Oldham, Coventry. I'd love Coventry to get up, Nick, because they're not far away from me, and I think Mark Robbins is a manager that just doesn't get any credit at all, and yet he's quite a big part of Man United's history. So he is an ex-Man United player, but he never gets any credit as being an ex-Man United player who's done well in coaching. It's weird. He never gets any acknowledgement at all that he's an ex-Man United player who's done well in coaching, and yet he scored one of the most iconic goals in Sir Alex Ferguson's career. And it wasn't. I think Mark Robins was at United for a few years, from what I remember as well. Will you ever do a video about your backstory? And are you from Nottingham originally? Says KFJ. I will do, but I won't do it. It'll have to be like an interview or something like that. Would you want teams like Wimbledon back in the Prem, old school style of football? Well, they don't play like that anymore, the Beast, but they were a very unique time of their time. Just tuned in. Did you swap scores in error, Mark? Says Dominic. I don't know what you mean. Oh, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Mark, you need to give the show The Bear a watch. Glad I didn't sleep on it for too long. Great show. Says Connor. I started watching it. First episode. It's the one about the restaurant, isn't it? And I just didn't get pulled back in. There's a few like that though. I quit Sopranos after 5 episodes. I must be the only person in history to do that. Didn't finish Sons of Anarchy either. After 5 seasons, I didn't finish it. Gomorrah as well, didn't finish that. I'm a little bit weird like that. I really do like TV and film, but I do quit on stuff if I lose interest. I'd never have quit Breaking Bad though, or something like that. Mark, what team in the Championship that has not been in the Prem would you like to have in the Prem? Well, that's a bit of a tough one because most of them probably have been. Let's have a look. Leicester, Southampton, Leeds, Ipswich, West Brom, Hull, Coventry haven't. Coventry have. Sunderland have. Norwich have. Preston haven't. Watford have. Middlesbrough have. Cardiff have. Bristol haven't. Plymouth haven't. Millwall haven't. Swansea have. Blackburn have. Birmingham have. Stoke have. I think Huddersfield have. QPR have. I mean, there's only about 5 that haven't. Rotherham haven't. Millwall haven't. Plymouth haven't. Bristol haven't. And Preston. There's only 5 out of 24 clubs in the Championship that haven't been in the Prem. So I would... you know what? Probably... I would say it would be Millwall or Bristol. Or maybe Preston for the prestige because they're a classic old club. I mean, it amazes me. If you've ever been to Bristol, Georgeson is absolutely right. If you've ever been to Bristol, it's one of the biggest cities in the UK. I mean, let me just tell you this. If I could bloody type, I'd be dangerous. It is, according to 2023 statistics, London's the biggest, then Manchester, then Birmingham, then Leeds, then Glasgow, then Southampton, then Liverpool, then Newcastle, then Nottingham. It's not that big then. Fuck off, Bristol. You know, I tried to do you a favour. You're not even bigger than Nottingham or Sheffield. I was going to say Bristol's one of the biggest cities in the country, and they've never had a top division, a Premier League club. It's smaller than Nottingham. What a waste! What a letdown! Just ruined the whole story. Yeah, but Bristol have never had a Premier League club. It's quite a big city, so it would be interesting. But I think they're more interested in rugby down there, aren't they? Definitely more interested in something, not football. Cole Palmer, thought about hitting it. Missed the game. How bad has Villa been, and what do you think of it versus United? Says Antonio. I'm a little bit worried because Villa started off okay. Villa strike me as a team that if they concede first, they have a problem, don't they? I haven't watched enough of Villa to know that, but certainly against Newcastle and Chelsea, started off quite well, conceded a goal, and it's like popping a balloon. Deflated. Bristol's full of hipsters, says Phil Mitchell. Yeah, they don't like football, do they? They're too cool for football. Barry says, how many inches is acceptable? I'm debating it with the missus. Well, Barry, you need to ask the missus. Because she's the one who's got to, you know, put it somewhere. If you're putting it somewhere, then you shouldn't be with your missus. So, unfortunately, you've got to bow down to the experience there, mate. Carrick is huge, says Stephen. John O'Barron says this makes me more nervous for the Villa game because they'll be pumped. Yeah, I do. I agree. I think that Villa winning tonight, maybe having to go to penalties, etc., would have been better for United. Get them getting pumped. Can you see Villa losing 3 home games in a row under Emery? But then again, they've just totally and utterly lost confidence. I think it's a tactical thing. I do. Newcastle did it really well in the first last week. Villa like to play through from the back, and they haven't got the players to do it because Torres is massive for that. And also they like to play through Kamara and Luis, and Chelsea have kept them very well occupied and stopped them playing through. Although they're in here, Leon Bailey. I mean, if Chelsea score 3 goals and Badiashile and Disasi play well, what's going on? No, what a bad ball. Tielemans has had a bad game, hasn't he? Tielemans is an interesting player as well. He's very up and down. User 970259 says, what are your thoughts on the disgusting treatment of Reading FC? It's disgusting, you're right. I hope they don't... Goal, surely. Oh, my God. Lovely play by Villa. Cut back to McGinn, and he hits the Chelsea player. I mean, it's just bad finishing, isn't it, really? I mean, Disasi, again. Good block. Got to go through that. Oh, it's not a great finish, to be fair. If you had to take 3 Chelsea players and put them into United's squad, who would you take and why? Well, I'd definitely take one of their midfielders because we're short in that area. So probably Enzo Fernandez, if I'm being honest. I'd have to take one of their centre-backs, I suppose. I'd probably take Cole Palmer as well. Casido, Palmer. I don't know whether I'd actually take Conor Gallagher, Enzo Fernandez and Cole Palmer. United do need a centre-back, but I don't know that I'd want any of Chelsea's centre-backs, really. Tielemans comes off, told you. HD says, where can I get that top from? If you type in United Stand Shopify, you'll find it. It's called The Originals. Evening, Mark. Hope you're well. How has the game been tonight, says Reese. I mean, look, it's not been the game I predicted, but, you know, I would have hoped for a closer game. But Chelsea have played well, surprisingly well. I do like Colwill, Tim. That's a good shout. I do like that, yeah. I do like him. Shami says, apart from Alisson and Edison, which Premier League goalkeeper would you take? Well, up until about 3 weeks ago, Vicario. But I think it just shows you, isn't it? You know, you can be top of the hill and fall off. And I think we've seen in recent weeks that Vicario is probably the most targeted goalkeeper on corner in the Premier League at the moment. Watkins has held on to this for too long, surely. Yeah, he's lost it. Do you think the other match will go to penalties, says Nabil? I presume it can't be far off going to penalties in the other game because it's 1-1 with only 5 minutes to go between Forest and Bristol, so we'll keep an eye on that one. Is that game on, actually? Because I'll put it on. I'll put it on if it goes to penalties. Win, lose, or draws up tomorrow, Lay. Yeah. And Maisie, thanks for sending a flame heart. Or 10, or 11, or 12, or 13, or 14. 20 flame hearts from Maisie. Thank you very much. It's not on TV, the other one. Thanks for following us, James and Enzo and Clackix and Layla. Or Lila. Hey, Lila. Could be a goal here. Oh, he got the ball. I tell you what, Badashiel and Disarcy, I don't rate, but tonight they've played well. Where are the bad guys gone? 2-foot tackles with Roy Keane and Vinnie Jones. Are there anyone like that in the Premier League, or do we have to look at the Championship, says Harvard? You can't play the game like that now. You can't play the game like that. If you tackle like that now, VAR's going to get you. Sterling's coming on. Kenneth says, Millwall were in the old First Division a bit before the Premier League started. Cascarino and Sheringham up front. I remember, Kenneth, you sort of... That's my introduction to football when I was very young, the late 80s. I remember the Wimbledon final against Liverpool. We won. And I remember that Millwall side. I'm trying to think who else played for them. Terry Hurlock with the perm. Remember him? They were a rough team. Yep, Sheringham and Cascarino. I seem to think there should be someone else I remember from that Millwall team, but they're the only three I can remember. Best midfielder to play for Tottenham? Mate, I saw Gascoigne when I was a kid play for Tottenham, and I still put him down as one of the best players I've seen play live. Now, I was very young, so you can't say I watched it with a experienced head, but I think Gascoigne before 91 and that injury was scary. I mean, he still did bits after the injury, but in those days, a knee injury was far more of an issue than it is now. Although, to be fair, Shearer had it. Over the bar from Villa. It's just not going to be their night. Do you think Ross Barkley should be considered for the Euros, given his form this season, says the Beast? No. And he won't be. Unknown PR says, big up tomorrow. You know the rules. Hello, everybody. Welcome to That's Football. You know the rules. Big up the football. Big up the ball. Big up the net. Big up the goalie gloves. And big up oxygen. You know the rules. You know the rules. Big up me mum. Not that way. Big up me dad. No, definitely not that way. Big up the sky. Big up the trees. Big up the birds. Big up the bees. You know the rules. I don't know the fucking rules. I don't know the rules. People are going, what's going on? You need to watch the video. Goldbridge reacts. Thanks for being a new gift at Elks. Dembele at Spurs was a very good player. He was my type of midfielder. Combative, tenacious, good tackler, good passer, but could dribble. I love a midfielder that can dribble. Why are they a dying breed in football? I love a midfielder that can dribble because it destroys, and Ross Barkley's been quite good at that as well. A midfielder who can dribble destroys Pep, Klopp, Arteta's plans because they're all about structure, stopping the passing lanes. You get a player that can take someone on. Goodbye passing lanes and structure. Diaby. I mean, Villa have been better since the subs, but they need a goal quick if they're to have any chance here. I said it at the start of the season. Villa will win the Conference League. Thoughts on naming new stadium New Trafford, says Gary. Sounds shit, mate, to be honest. How far up was the Enzo free kick, says C1? I would say the Enzo free kick was about 30 yards out. Philip Sutton, thanks for gifting a membership. Appreciate that. Travis says, why can't I become a member of your YouTube channel? I live in Jamaica. I don't know. I think in certain areas they don't have memberships, probably. But I don't know what areas. Mark can do Goldbridge reacts to Spudman, says Joel. I'll react to anything. I mean, if it's interesting, I'll react to it. I'm fine. I don't have a problem with that. Ollie says, financially, knocking down Old Trafford makes sense, but it shouldn't happen. I agree. Thiago Silva's going to come on. Nicholas Jackson looks like he's injured as well. Samir, I didn't miss your super chat. I just don't read them all out at the same time. Bristol, who there are 2 teams in. Bristol, come on, says Tim. J-Dog says, you missed my super chat question about Star Wars. Samir says, can you say that my friend Oscar sucks at FPL? I thought you were going to say sucks something else then. It goes to extra time before penalty, says Sean. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. Bristol and Forest will go to extra time. Ooh. Reese, the game's gone well tonight if you're a Chelsea fan. I hope you're doing well. Hessen says, I can see Villa's season taking a drop off here. I hope so, because we've got him on Saturday. Can you do a prediction for the weekend's game, says Jalak? Well, I do it on win, lose or draw. It goes out tomorrow with me and Ben Foster. Liam says he watched every episode of Breaking Bad but the last one. Why, Liam? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? And J-Dog says, what? Who would be your choice of Jedi Sith Master? If I was going to be one, Luke. Definitely Luke. Let me get the colour right. Is that green? Yes, here we go. Oh, it won't come out. Jedi Goldbridge look with his green lightsaber. What does Luke say when he's got a green lightsaber? I'll never turn to the dark side. That's what he does with the green one. You failed. You failed, Your Highness. I sense the good in you. Nothing's happening in the match because they're still doing these subs. Just got called a nerd. Well, if I'm a nerd, I am a nerd. I like Star Wars, although I haven't watched it really in a long time. Mars says, I can't speak. Thank you, little miss. Looks a bit like Gems. Hope you're doing well. Do Yoda. I can't do Yoda, Ricky's grandson. Poll on potential names for the new stadium. I was thinking something commemorating 1960. What happened in 1960? I think you're talking about 58. Do most people call you Mark or by your real name, says the Hughes lad. Mark. And Mark can do Goldbridge reacts Spudman. I've done that from Joel Morris. Any book recommendations, says Nazario. Ooh, if you liked the film Heat, read the follow-up. I quite enjoyed that. The sequel's a book. Best book I've ever read. I really enjoyed the books normally are better than films. I really enjoyed the book The Beach. You know, the film's a bit... Film's okay, but the book I really enjoyed. They're not going to get back into this Villa. 8 minutes to go and Chelsea are going to be very happy with this. Do you like lamb chops, says Jamie. I haven't had lamb chops in ages. I've had pork chops, but I haven't had lamb chops in ages. With all this recent Old Trafford news, it's got me thinking about the Thunderdome, says Lee Berman. Rest in peace, the Thunderdome. They were happy days. Paul, I've done that. Will we ever get swinging with Goldbridge? Says Mitchell. What, literally swinging like an album of songs, or like swinging in the horrible way? What are you doing for Valentine's Day? Says Unknown. Oh, I don't really do anything for Valentine's Day. I mean, I'm more likely to go out on the 15th. Not because I'm not romantic, but because I just don't actually feel the need to express my love for somebody on a predetermined day of the year. But I suppose that's a bit hypocritical, because I do like Christmas. It's called being tight, says Regret This. I remember one Valentine's Day when I lived in Dublin and I was going out with a girl and I'd just met another girl and they didn't know about each other, which is a shame because it would have been nice if they'd got on, if you know what I mean. But I basically went to the same jewellery shop and bought them both the same earrings. They never knew. Not the same. They didn't get one each. Like, I bought 2 pairs of earrings and gave one to one and one the other. And they were very happy about it. Which I thought was very efficient because it was on my lunch break at work. And I did want to also go to River Island and get myself a shirt. And to HMV and buy the new FIFA. So, didn't have time to be getting 2 separate presents. And they were never going to know. When are you going to do driving with Goldbridge in your Bugatti, says Parker. Yeah, dream on. He says he understands YouTube CPMs. You clearly don't. Meant to say singing, not swinging, says my Mitchell. Okay. Well, I took it as singing. Ryan Lee, thanks for the follow. Rave as well. Does Aston Villa loss help Man United for Sunday, says Sebastian? I don't think it does. I think it will. I can't see Aston Villa losing 3 home games in a row. They lost to Newcastle this week, Chelsea this week. They've been undefeated at home for 13 months. I don't see it. Thanks for giving us a follow, Ali G. Can Arsenal win the title, says Spartan? I don't think so. I think if you had Ollie Watkins up front, you'd have a great chance. But I think the problem with Villa, I don't actually think Arsenal will beat West Ham at the weekend. I just think it's a step too far. Oh, Badashiel might be injured now. Villa did win at the weekend, but they didn't win at home. We're talking about home games. They've lost their last 2 because they're going to lose this. Well, look, Lukey Boy says they will beat them on Sunday. I'm going to do a watch-along for that anyway, but they've got to go and win that game. They have to go and win that game. There's no point beating Man City at home and Liverpool at home and then not beating West Ham away. If you want to win the league, you've got to go and win that sort of game. I'm moving, I'm coming, can you hear what I hear? It's calling, my dear, on the beach. Why am I singing that? Oh, it's because of the book. It's because of the book. Saka, thanks for giving us a follow. Zetty, thank you very much. Carol J, Mark, have you read The World's Biggest Cash Machine yet? No, I do need to read it. I'm going to do that. If I don't write it down, it won't happen. You know, there'll be people who don't know what that's all about, and they'll be thinking, why is he reading a book about a tall cash machine? Can you say hi to Brian? Hello, Brian. I want to keep Old Trafford, says Alex. Issue is that it's logistically impossible to renovate and play there simultaneously. They will build a new one as it's more practical. I know, Alex. I accept that, but I don't want it to happen. Three minutes to go here. Still 1-1 between Nottingham Forest and Bristol. They are playing extra time. Who's going to win the Euros, says Theo? England. I'm all in on England. I'll do a poll for you because it's a different audience and you might have an opinion on it. Jose has a better legacy than Klopp, by the way, 58%. So I will do a poll for you here. Not everyone's going to be a United fan, so it'll be interesting. Build a new stadium. Renovate Old Trafford. Now, I'd be interested with this because not everyone's going to be a United fan. And even though I'm not an Everton fan or an Arsenal fan, I would have voted for you to stay at Highbury and Goodison Park. Because for me, those grounds are special. They've got a history. And as much as the Tottenham Stadium looks fantastic, I'd rather you stayed at White Hart Lane, to be honest with you. Football Vibe, hello. Who's watched Goldbridge Reacts to Bevo, by the way? You've got to go and watch it. It's only been out a few hours. Please do go and give it a watch. How to find it's not easy. Well, you just type into YouTube Goldbridge Reacts to Bevo. But it's on my channel, which is nowhere near as big as United Stand or That's Football. But go and give it a watch. I enjoyed doing it. Nyla says, could United play at Wembley if you were rebuilding Old Trafford? Well, we could do, but can you imagine the uproar? We'd actually probably fill it as well, but we're a Manchester club and you'd be playing in London. So there'd be absolute uproar. Ironsilla says, very good video. I really enjoyed it. Fate says, you're my favourite YouTuber right now. Bloody hell. I don't know about that. We've pinned the link to Bevo, Goldbridge Reacts to Bevo on the YouTube live chat. So, I mean, the sad thing here, there's only 4 minutes left and Villa haven't even scored at home against Chelsea. It's embarrassing, really. Edge of the box. Oh, they have scored now. Goldbridge shut up. It's a nice finish by, I think it's Diaby. Edge of the box, into the bottom corner. They've got one back. It's going to be too little, too late. 3-1 in the 90th minute. They needed this goal about 10 minutes ago, to be fair. It's a good finish, though. Right into the bottom corner off the post. Edge of the box. Don't know whether it takes a bit of a deflection. Does it? Hard to tell from there. Yeah, 3-1. Good finish. It's got to take a deflection. No, it doesn't. Nice and clean. Give him even more credit. Well done. Favourite biscuit, Jamie? I'm off the biscuits, but hobnobs or even chocolate hobnobs. Here's Sterling. Could be another goal for Chelsea here. Conor Gallagher gets the shot off. Statistically, 11 shots to 13, 6 on target for Chelsea to Villa's 3. Ronnie says, can you watch the Forest-Bristol game in any way? No. There is a way, but I'd have to stop the stream to do it, so. It's not on normal telly, though, is it? Which is surprising. I thought it might be on, like, ITV4 or something like that. 72% of you would renovate Old Trafford. Should have gone down there, Diaby. He's too honest. That's the second time this season I've seen Diaby not go down. He could have took a tumble there and got a penalty. Jack says, do you know if Bristol and Forest are on TV? I don't. I don't think it is. If Villa could get one back quickly, Could be really exciting. Oh, headed straight at the keeper. I think that'll be enough now. Do you know anything about this new Super League, pal? Says Addy. Not unless anything's been announced in the last few minutes. I agree, but there's no way around it. Reality hurts, says Alex. Could United play at the Etihad, says Victor. There's probably a deal we could strike, but you'd be putting money into Man City's pocket, wouldn't you? Lovely takedown by Nkunku. Nice little pass. I mean, the quality of players Chelsea've got, it's incredible how inconsistent they are. Lee Berman says, I love that Reacts video. You've got to go and check it. I don't think City had let us use Etihad anyway, because they'd be embarrassed how we sell it out every week. Be a PR nightmare for them, wouldn't it? Oh, here we go. Could be 4. Good save, Martinez in the one-on-one. Yusuf says, Mark, my mum says you're handsome. She's obviously very intelligent. Not that intelligent means that you know anything about looks, actually. Bluey became the 145th member of the team. Thank you very much, mate. What was I going to say? Shout out to Don Bowers for me, mate, says Jack. I thought Chelsea'd scored again. It was the free kick. And he's blown the whistle. He's blown the whistle. Well, it's probably the result we didn't expect, but it's the result we deserved. Chelsea deserved to win this game 3-1. They stay in the cup. What is it about Chelsea and the cups this year? Shite in the Premier League, not in Europe, but domestically, Carabao Cup final. They roll on in the FA Cup. Incredible, really, isn't it? It's incredible how Chelsea can survive and in cups, but can't in the Premier League. But Villa disappointing again. I'm hoping they're going to be disappointing against Man United on Sunday, but I bet they'll be bloody back at it then. Go on, Stoke, says Dave Walker. Absolute legends, by the way. Thank you, everyone who's been tuning in. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube, bottom right-hand corner to do it. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Also, pinned in the live chat is the link for Goldbridge Reacts to Bevo. It's only 10 minutes. Just go and give it a watch now. Click the link or go and search Goldbridge Reacts to Bevo on YouTube. Absolute legends. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. And we're back with some content for you tomorrow.